A Mashantucket Pequot powwow. Nipmuc teaching traditional skills to the next generation.
It lights a spark inside somebody when they start to learn a traditional practice.
Wampanoag artists from Aquinnah.
My art is very much my way of educating this region about Northeastern Native people.
Native tribes have lived in New England for more than 15,000 years, and they're still here. Tonight, Chronicles shares stories from some of New England's Native communities, in their own words.
For us to tell our own story would be a much different narrative, and our story is one of perseverance.
This is Chronicle on WCVB Channel 5.
Yukisak manakwan, yukisak manakwan, kwanikisak, kwanikisak.
You are listening to the language of the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe.
Pompatillon, pompatillon.
This is the Weetamoo School for pre-K to third grade students operating on Mashpee tribal lands on Cape Cod.
Through history, we've had, Christian mission schools, and we have had residential boarding schools, and all of these things have been specifically designed to assimilate us and other tribal people. This is the first formal education, schooling, I should say, that Wampanoag people have ever provided for our own, ever, in history. Nathasuis Natana Hicks Greendeer. My name's Natana Greendeer, and I'm Mashpee Wampanoag. I am the head of Weetamoo School. Oftentimes, as Indigenous people, when you step into school, all of that part of yourself has to kind of be checked at the door. And here, that's exactly the opposite of what we're trying to do. In my dad's generation, he went to Mashpee schools with all Wampanoag people. There were very few here in Mashpee that were not. Fast forward 30 years to when I was in school, there might have been the same number of Wampanoag children, but there was 100 more other kids.
Nekis matamusas natasuis Tia Pocknet. So my name is Tia Pocknet. I was raised in Mashpee. My father is Mashpee Wampanoag, but I myself identify as Mi'kmaq or Micmac. Today's language lesson was Wampanoag words for woman, man, elder, chief, and then we also had another lesson which was the ability to identify tribal flags. So we want to make sure, yes, they know who they are, but also they recognize the symbols of the people around us. Mashantucket Pequot. Nakis?
Budgeting for the school largely comes from highly competitive grants, which are hard to secure. The educational model has been called Wampasori, a mix of Wampanoag language and culture studies taught within the Montessori method.
I like how we get to speak our Wampanoag language. My favorite thing about this school is the art stuff that we do.
While a private Montessori education can be expensive, that is not the case here.
We don't charge tuition because we want to ensure that this education and this experience is accessible to all of our tribal children.
Yeah, Wanachak.
The kids that are coming through this school are going to be the leaders of this tribe in years to come.
The tribe's current leadership operates just down the hall.
Brian Mosquito Whedon. I'm a member of the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe, and I'm the chairman of the Mashpee Wampanoag Tribal Council. The Tribal Council is the governing body of the tribe.
Since the council was formed, one of its primary goals has been increasing access to and control of ancestral lands.
In our language, we say Nu Tomas, which means I am from, but it means my blood and my bones is from this land. So if I ask anybody where they're from, I'm not asking you where do you live, but where do your ancestors come from. Today, our reservation is a checkerboard reservation, meaning that we own bits and parcels of it. We own half of 1% of our ancestral territory. Borders and fences were not traditional to us. It was the English when they got here that they kind of put fences up and stuff. Our philosophy has always been that it's our job to protect Mother Earth, and nobody really owns Mother Earth.
Shared spaces are not an exclusively Native concept. Boston Common was established as the oldest public park in the United States when European settlers purchased what was William Blackstone's farm in 1634. A closer look at the Founders Memorial, a tribute to Boston's founding 4 years earlier, reveals a less noble history. City archaeologist Joe Bagley explains.
In the 1620s, when you are on a space, you are ultimately allowed to be there by paying tribute to the leader of a tribe. But they weren't buying the land. In September of 1630, when Reverend John Winthrop moved from Charlestown to Boston, Blackstone says, "Hey, I was here already. It's my land. You have to buy it from me." And Winthrop was like, "I got the land from the crown already. I don't have to pay you anything for it." And Blackstone was so upset and completely missing the ironic fact that hundreds of indigenous people that were also here are like, well, that's exactly what we've been saying.
While native figures are but a small footnote on Anglo-centric memorials like this one, the reality is just the opposite.
If you made a timeline of Boston history 100 feet long, the time from 1630 to today is the last 3 feet of that timeline. So we're really missing 97% of that story if we don't look at the history of Native people here in the city.
Also interesting, and the Mashpee Wampanoag Tribal Education Department actually does a fair amount of work inside of Mashpee Public Schools.
They do, and it doesn't compare to the 6 to 7 hours of immersion training they get at Weetamoo. But Weetamoo is continuing to expand as well. They're looking for funding for transportation, school lunch programs, and they also hope to expand beyond the 3rd grade at some point.
All right, coming up, insight from the tribe behind Foxwoods.